tired of doing this. All right, we're going to finish up the Cold War, talking about the Cold War, the conflict between the totalitarian communist countries in red and yellow here, and the blue countries, which are democratic and capitalist. Now, in general, the communist countries were not doing well economically because communism, paying everybody equally, does not reward hard work or innovation, whereas capitalist countries do. And so the economy of these countries started to fall behind. Now, in China, Mao Zedong is replaced by a leader named Deng Xiaoping. Now, because China is falling behind economically, he makes some capitalist reforms to his country. He lets individuals start taking back control of businesses and farms and factories, but he still remains a totalitarian dictator. And one example, or two examples of this, one is he issues the one-child policy because he knows that China's population is growing too rapidly in an unsustainable way. He also, some protesters get together and try to protest in favor of democracy in China, and he sends military troops out there, and actually kills a lot of the protesters. And so even though he makes some capitalist reforms, he is still totalitarian as a dictator. And the USSR was also feeling the economic hardships as well. And eventually a guy named Mikhail Gorbachev takes power, and he is going to also make capitalist reforms in the Soviet Union. So much so that the Soviet Union becomes not the Soviet Union anymore. I'll get to that in just a second. But he has two policies. Glasnost, which means openness to ideas rather than suppression. He's going to let ideas flow into Russia and not censor people and not basically oppress them if they're speaking out against the government. Also, perestroika, again, is individuals taking control of businesses. And so the USSR is actually going to break up as glasnost and perestroika become open to ideas. A lot of the countries in the Soviet Union, or a lot of the places in the Soviet Union, want independence. They want to create their own independent country, separate from the Soviet Union, separate from Russia. And one of the big countries that did this was Poland. Lech Walesa led the Solidarity movement to create a democracy in Poland, and a lot of the other Eastern European countries followed suit. Also, Germany would be reunited. The Berlin Wall would be turned down. It would become one country that would also accept capitalism and democracy. And after this, after the USSR makes capitalist reforms, China makes capitalist reforms, and the Soviet Union falls apart, we have the end of the Cold War.